everybody, welcome back. Today, a little bit different, doing a review of something, a first for me in terms of reviews, number one, and owning. I just purchased a bass guitar, a very cheap bass guitar, because I've always been interested in learning how to play the bass. So I didn't want to spend a ton of money on a high-end instrument that I probably wouldn't excel at playing, number one, and more importantly, might not play at all if I can't take to it or don't like it, which I don't think is going to be the case. But in any event, I went and looked at a bunch of different options on the internet, and I arrived at this particular bass. As you can see, it's a very attractive wood-type grain to it. It's described as burly wood in terms of the color. There's the headstock. And again, it's a no name on the headstock, just a very, very plain headstock. And I'll go over the specifics. The back of the bass is a nice little contour to it. Beautiful wood grain on this thing, whatever the heck it is. It's supposed to be basswood, but it does have a nice grain to it. And it's got a nice, flat, matte, finished neck. And the tuners on here are just your basic, run-of-the-mill metal, pot metal bass tuners. But let's get to the specifics. So first of all, this was the cheapest bass I could find. And when I bought it, it was $59.99 plus tax, free shipping. And it's currently $62.99 on eBay. It's a no-brand instrument, so the manufacturer isn't listed. And it's just described as a burning fire, which you probably see a lot of these budget guitars, burning fire, made or branded instrument. On Amazon, they do have a bass that looks, suspiciously identical to this thing, right? No name headstock, same exact shape headstock, everything on it's identical, and I think it's a ZZTDM is the manufacturer. But again, I bought this on eBay, $62.99 plus tax, free shipping to my door. And it is described as, again, a basswood body. It's fairly light. I would say this thing is maybe 7 pounds. It's a fairly light guitar. It has a supposed rosewood fingerboard. It's got 20 frets. It's a 34-inch scale bass, so this is a budget knockoff of a Fender Precision. That's what it is. It's a P-style bass guitar. What else? The pickups on here, you can see your basic single-coil pickups. There are 2 of them. There are 2 probably single-coil ceramic pickups on this guitar. It has, a volume, a tone control, a basic metal bridge on the guitar, and it has a plastic nut. But the good news is, and I was very suspect about this thing arriving in crap condition. I had no idea how it was going to arrive. It was packaged single box, but it was shipped and secured pretty well. It came within 5 days of me ordering it. This thing was delivered to my house, which is unbelievable. And the frets on this thing, right out of the box, are smooth. There are no sharp fret ends, which is great for an instrument of this price. I mean, I couldn't believe it. The action on the bass is okay. It's not, I wouldn't say, terribly low, but it's not super, super high where it can't be played. I mean, again, I'm a newbie, but I mean, I can certainly navigate around this thing fine, as is. So I didn't have to make any adjustments to it. What else? The neck girth on this thing is fairly substantial. I would say I would describe it as a chunky neck. It's not, baseball bat thick, but it's on the thicker side. So if you have small hands, that might be a bit of a struggle for you. But it's a nice, smooth and easy playing neck. I have no issues with it. The tuners on it, again, are your basic bass tuners, but it's been holding tune. And the nut, although it is a plastic, very, very inexpensive plastic nut, seems to be cut relatively well. So again, I give kudos to whoever the heck the manufacturer is for shipping out a very, very inexpensive bass, a ridiculously inexpensive bass, that's playable right out of the box. So if you're you've got a child that is interested in learning and wants to, attempt to play the bass, this is a great, great way to start them out. Assuming that, they're not, 4 or 5 years old. I mean, this is a fairly big instrument, so I would say probably some child that's at least 10, 11, 12, in that range. It's a great investment without breaking the bank. The only negative thing that I've noticed really on this is the neck dive. Because the body is very light, this basswood body, and it's got a relatively big headstock with these heavy tuners on it, there is, a substantial amount of neck dives. So you have to hold on to this baby, probably even wear a strap when you're playing it seated, because if you forget, it's gonna take a good dip. But other than that, I'm not going to plug this in because honestly, I don't have a bass amp, and more importantly, I'm not a great bass player. I'm learning myself, but it sounds fine. I mean, I plugged it into a guitar amp very cautiously. I didn't want to blow the speakers just to see if the thing worked. And, it sounded fine. These pickups are okay. Certainly you're fine for a beginner and for learning. I mean, if you're a touring musician or playing out, you won't buy this thing to begin with. This is totally geared to the first-time bass player, a student, somebody that just wants to, hack at a bass guitar, maybe mod it without worrying about ruining it. And blowing the thing up or scraping it or doing something wrong and experimenting. For the price, you can't go wrong. Certainly put in better pickups. You can, certainly put in better tuners, and you probably have something that you could, gig with. Again, the wood on this thing and the body on it is absolutely beautiful for the amount of money I spent. It's just crazy nice. And I really can't say anything bad about it. For $60, let's say, roughly, this is a fantastic way to start out playing the bass, and if you stick with it, you can always upgrade and buy something that's more of a player. Or if you don't, you can throw it out or use it as a swat. Swat flies. Do whatever you want to do with this thing. Hit baseballs, bang it off the curb. Do Pete Townsend on it. Whatever you want. Now, I'm just kidding, but it's a minimal investment, and it's a fairly decent instrument for that price. So, guys, it's made out of China, I believe. And again, I'm going to put the link below, the eBay link below, where you can buy this thing, and it'll list a little bit more about it. Any questions, as always, below. If you have any questions regarding this thing, I'll answer them to the best of my ability. And again, if you find these reviews helpful, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And until the next time, be well and stay safe.